So you're a car guy, and what's your number one challenge? And pipe in, people, because I'll ask questions all day. I'm worse than Adam.
Well, yeah.
What's your number one challenge? I mean, when you wake up in the morning, you get here at whatever time you get.
Yep.
What's your number one priority?
Well, I'll tell you what. There's a piece of paper that I made over the last 2 weeks with my staff on Mark's major challenges for 2010. That's what it's called. Very basic. I'm showing it to the board tomorrow. I'm rehearsing it tonight at about 5 p.m.
All right. And we're
so,
going to get to hear it first?
Yeah.
Can we tweet it?
Well, yeah,
Okay,
absolutely. I mean, it's I'm an engineer, so it looks like an equation, okay, and it's on a landscape PowerPoint chart.
Right.
Number one is getting through our dealer legislation right now with integrity and transparency. And so, the reduction of the number of dealers that we went through when we went through bankruptcy, it's now being legislated by the United States government,
right,
so that we have an arbitrator, so we have a really good, fair look at this. It's a huge opportunity for us to use that process to make sure that we have the right size of the dealer network on the other side of this by June. And so we're working through every dealership that we have. We have a lot of dealerships, so working through that every day. And so that's very high priority to do that with a very high level of integrity and a relationship with the dealer body that is very, very good. So,
do you feel, are there a lot of didn't we hear just here recently that some dealers are going to be reinstated?
Yeah.
Okay, how many are going to be
Many was the
reinstated?
number, right?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
That's still kind of up in the air?
Well, it is because every day
Many's a large
different amount of people decide whether they're going to arbitrate this or not, and then we reinstate some ourselves because we're looking at the criteria and saying that we need you. So it's a fluid process, but it will be a very good process.
And what are the criteria, for you to choose?
Oh, geez, I could spend a lot of time on that, but if I could,
and like the priority, like the first bunch.
There's criteria around throughput. There's criteria around dealer network, around the location of where it is. There's customer satisfaction criteria. There's all that. Okay, so it's a lot of criteria that we look at, but not to get bogged down in that. That's number one. Okay, number two is change the perception of North American customers of what this company is about and the products that it's gonna offer. Now, how do I do that?
Yeah,
Okay.
Besides having great product.
And we do, by the way. So we've got product now that we haven't had in my career. So we have very good product, and I don't want to say it's competitive product. I want to say it's winning product, because product by product, as we introduce it, it is. And so you got to have great product, which we do. The piece of this, though, on a trust basis in its relationships, okay, is around the United States government loaning General Motors money, going through bankruptcy, coming out of bankruptcy, creating a new company to be able to create product and grow the company again. And so that perception and the reality of that perception around people who want to buy our cars or not buy our cars has to come from myself first, on how I model my own behavior, on an honest and high integrity basis. It also comes from using your media, like Facebook, okay, to solve customers' problems. And I do that myself because I can't solve all of them because I don't have enough time in the day. However, how can I ignore someone who sends me a message to their inbox that they can't get their terrain because they've ordered it and they're sitting there waiting on it? And so we expedited it, and we got it. There's a person who had a problem with getting a CTSV steering gear. Couldn't get the part to put back into the car. We overnighted it on New Year's Eve to be there on New Year's Day, put it in the car. Customer is very happy. Person who bought a Cobalt here over in State College, Pennsylvania. We had, not because I told these guys to do it, but we had a couple engineers drive 8 hours through a snowstorm to repair a wheelhouse liner that had come off driving it through the snow and was not attached right. Clean the car up, this kind of stuff, I mean, people have got to understand that I care, that this company cares, the employees have the will to win, and care about each person that puts their hard-earned money into a car. This isn't, some sort of consumer brand choice around Fritos or Pringles. It's a lot of our disposable incomes. I don't care who you are when you buy a car. It is a relationship, and so you're buying into the relationship or you're not. And so if they're not buying in the relationship, then I have to take that very personally.
How are you going to change the corporate environment? These engineers, it's great. They're driving through a snowstorm.
Yep.
Honestly, you need every single person that has GM on their email address to have that kind of attitude right now.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So how are you going to change the corporate culture to say, you know what, we hear a lot in the press, oh yeah, GM, we're changing our corporate culture.
Yep.
Well, we've heard that before. How do you get...
I've got a lot of scars on my back.
Yeah, I mean...
Okay, I do. And everybody in this company does.
Right.
And there's a lot of people that aren't in this company anymore, okay? And so the people that are here in this company, I can tell you, we all wear the scars.
Right.
We're tired of it,
Yep.
okay? And so the time for change is now. And if I don't start doing it, I can't expect anybody else in the place to do it either. And so I'm starting to do it, and people tend to model what they know is right,
Yeah.
And so, it's pretty fun to help these people too, by the way. It
a good
feels
feeling,
pretty
right?
good, because I work for the company. I'm a taxpayer too.
Right.
And so I don't want to fool around with taxpayers or my own money,
Right.
investing in a company that doesn't care. We'll have this whole thing happen again. And so, like I say, I don't have any parlor tricks or initiatives or any of that stuff to offer you other than starting from ground zero, person by person, car by car, customer by customer. And, that's the way we're going to do it.
How did the meeting with the congressional delegation go today?
I thought it went really well. Yeah, you saw. I don't know if you're around it at all, but I had never met any of those folks. So for me, it was a kind of a big deal for me to be able to meet some of the folks that helped us get a second chance. And so I thanked every one of them today to the best I could, and I met them, and they could put a name with a face for me, which I hope was a good experience, although I've got a better radio face than I do a TV face. So, but anyway, I think it went pretty well, and I think they were honestly impressed with the fact that we showed them, what we did was we showed them the Volt, which is going to be made in Detroit-Hamtramck here, and then the battery is going to be made in Brownstown right here in Michigan as well. And then we showed them the Cruise, which is the first real small car this company's had in quite a while. And so I launched the Cruise in Australia, another mature market, did very well, very, very quickly, a better car than some of the competition. And so we're gonna make that here too in Lordstown. So between those two cars, there's about 6,500 jobs, and I think that's a big deal. And they see what we're doing, what we're investing in, the quality of the car, the fuel economy of the car, safety of the car, and then some of the really leading edge technology we have with the Volt and the lithium-ion battery packs that we're putting together to go in the car. So I hope that they enjoyed seeing what we're doing, and so I hope that happened. Yeah.
Real quickly, Michael Sheena from
Michael.
All the Time Examiner.
Yep.
You've made some bold statements about quality.
Yeah.
We're only as good as our worst car.
Yep.
The fact that GM quality hasn't always been up there, you said, has always personally bothered you. A perfect example, CTS Consumer Report says, hey, we love the car. It's not on our recommended list because of some reliability. How do you go forward from here on that?
Yep. The reliability piece, do you understand what they said in Consumer Reports? It's unproven. The reliability piece of that is unproven. And so that's where the company is right now. So we have to prove that. Okay, and well, how are we going to do that? Well, I think that the reliability piece of this is well underway in GM to fix. And it's not that everything's broken either. We do have some recommended buys. We've got quite a few. We've got Consumer Digest recommended buys. So it's not everything. But how do we, relative to, we're only as good as the worst thing. If we miss on one of those, then you got to ask, why did we miss? And so the processes we got to put in place have got to be durable enough and consistent enough so we hit everything all the time for everybody. And so that's really what we got to get to. So, we got some work to do, and it's not impossible. We're well underway. We just got to get out there and prove it model by model by model. So, yeah. We're not going to get the benefit of the doubt unless we do that, to your point. CTS, better than Mercedes, except we don't know about the reliability of it. So we got to prove that.